Shakespeare production of Richard the Third.
What is that? Sound is not right.
Now is the winter of our discontent. Mid glorious summer by this son of yours. And all the clouds that lower upon our house, in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. Now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarms changed to merry meetings, our medical marches to delightful measures.
But I, that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking-glass, I that am curtailed of this fair proportion, cheated of feature by dissembling nature, have no delight to pass away the time. Since I cannot prove a lover, I am determined to prove a villain, and hate the idle pleasures of these days. Plots have I laid, inductions dangerous, by drunken prophecies, libels, and dreams, to set my brother Clarence and the king in deadly hate, the one against the other. Brother, good day, what means this armed guard that waits upon your grace?
His Majesty is tendering to my person's safety, has appointed this conduct to convey me to the tower.
Why, this is it, when men are ruled by women. My Lady Grey, his wife, Clarence, 'tis she that tempers him to this extremity.
By heaven, I think there is no man is secure.
I beseech your graces both to pardon me. His Majesty has strictly given in charge that no man shall have private conference of what degree soever with his brother.
We know thy charge, Brackenbury, and will obey.
We're the Queen's abjects and must obey. Brother, farewell. I will unto the king, and whatsoever you will employ me in, I will perform it to enfranchise you. Meantime, have patience.
I must perforce farewell.
Go, tread the path that thou shalt ne'er return. I will shortly send thy soul to heaven. But who comes here? The new delivered Hastings? How hath your lordship brooked imprisonment?
With patience, noble lord, as prisoners must.
No doubt, and so shall Clarence too. What news abroad?
No news so bad abroad as this at home. The king is sick, weak, and melancholy, and his physicians fear him mightily.
Go you before, and I will follow. I'll in to urge his hatred more to Clarence. And if I fall not in my deep intent, Clarence hath not another day to live, which done, God take King Edward to his mercy, and leave the world for me to bustle in. For then I'll marry Warwick's youngest daughter. What though I killed her husband and her father? The readiest way to make the wench amends is to become her husband and her father.
Set down your honor below. If honor may be shrouded in a hearse, of thy lament King Henry's course.
Stay you that bear the course, and set it down.
What black magician conjures up this fiend to stop devoted charitable deeds?
Villains, set down the course, or by St. Paul I'll make a course of him that disobeys.
My lord, stand back and let the coffin pass.
Unmannered dog! Stand thou when I command, or by St. Paul I'll strike thee to my foot!
What? Do you tremble? Are you all afraid? Alas, I blame you not, for you are mortal, and mortal eyes cannot endure the devil. About thou dreadful minister of hell, thou hast but power over his mortal body. His soul thou canst not have, therefore be gone.
Sweet saint, for charity be not so cursed.
Thou devil, for God's sake hence and trouble us not. For thou hast made the happy earth thy hell, filled it with cursing cries and deep exclaims. If thou delight to view thy heinous deeds, behold the pattern of thy butcheries. O God, which this blood made, revenge his death. O earth, which this blood drinks, revenge his death. Either heaven with lightning strike the murderer dead, her earth gape open wide and eat him quick.
Lady, you know the rules of charity, which renders good for bad, blessings for curses.
Villain, thou knowest no law of God nor man. No beast so fierce but some touch of him.
But I know none, and therefore am no beast.
Oh, wonderful, when devils tell the truth.
Oh, wonderful when angels are so angry. Vouchsafe divine perfection of a woman.
Vouchsafe diffuse the infection of a man.
I did not kill your husband.
Why then he's alive.
Nay, he is dead and slain by Edward's hand.
In thy foul throat thou liest. Queen Margaret saw thy murderous falchion smoking in his blood.
I was provoked by her slanderous tongue, which laid their guilt on my guiltless shoulders.
Thou was provoked by thy bloody mind, and thou fit for any place but hell.
Yes, one place else if you will hear me name it.
So done.
Your bedchamber.
Was ever a woman in this humor wooed? Was ever a woman in this humor won?
Shine out, fair sun, till I have bought a glass, that I may see my shadow as I pass. Ha ha ha!
My lords, this prince is not an Edward. He's not lolling on a rude daybed, but on his knees at meditation, not dallying with a brace of courtesans, but meditating with two deep divines, not sleeping to engross his idle body, but playing to enrich his watchful soul. Happy were England would this virtuous prince take on himself the sovereignty thereof.
Merry God defend his grace, should say us me.
Yeah! Cousin of Buckingham and sage great men, since you will buckle fortune on my back to bear her burthen, whether I will or no, I must have patience to endure the load. For God he knows, and you may partly see how far I am from the desire thereof.
God bless your grace. We see it and say it.
In saying so, you shall but say the truth.
Then I salute you with this royal title. Long live Richard, England's worthy king! Long live Richard! Long live Richard! Long live Richard! Long live Richard! Long live Richard!
Pray you, Master Lieutenant, by your leave, how doth my prince and the young son of York?
Right well, dear madam. By your patience, I may not suffer you to visit them. The king has strictly charged the contrary.
The king? Who's that?
I mean the Lord Protector.
The Lord protect him from that kingly title? Have he set bounds between their love and me? I am their mother, who should bar me from them?
I am their father's
mother. I will see them. Their aunts I am in love their mothers. Then bring me to their sight, I'll bear thy blame, and take thy office from thee on my peril.
No, madam, no, I may not leave it so. I am bound by oath, therefore pardon me.
Let me but meet you ladies 1 hour hence, and I'll salute your grace of York as mother and reverend looker-on of 2 fair queens. Come, madam, you must straight to Westminster, there to be crowned Richard's royal queen. Oh, cut my lace in asunder that my pent heart may have some scope to beat from this death-killing news. Oh, despiteful tidings, oh, unpleasing news.
Be of good cheer, mother. How fares your grace?
Oh, Dorset, speak not to me. Get thee gone. Death and destruction dog thee at thy heels. Go, cross the seas, and live with Richmond. Full of wise cares is your counsel, madam. You shall have letters from me to my son Richmond, to meet him on his way. Be not taken tardy by unwise delay. Come, madam, come, I in all haste was sent. And I with all unwillingness will go. Oh, would to God that inclusive verge of gold and metal that must round my brow were red-hot steel to sear me to the brain. Anointed let me be with deadly venom, and die ere a man can say, God save the queen. Go, poor soul. I envy not thy glory. To feed my humor, wish thyself no harm, no more than with my soul I mourn for yours.
Go thou to Richmond, and good fortunes guide thee. Go thou to Richard, and good angels tend thee. Go thou to Sanctuary, and good thoughts possess thee. And I to my grave, where peace and rest lie with me. 80 odd years of sorrow have I seen, and each hour's joys wrecked with a week of teen.
Stay yet, look back with me onto the tower. Pity you ancient stones, those tender babes whom envy hath immured within your walls. Rough cradle for such little pretty ones. Rude, ragged nurse, old sullen playfellow. For tender princes use my babies well. So foolish sorrow bids your stones farewell.
Tell o'er your woes again by viewing mine. I had an Edward, till a Richard killed him. I had a Harry, till a Richard killed him. Thou hadst an Edward, till a Richard killed him. Thou hadst a Richard, till a Richard killed him.
I had a Richard too, and thou didst kill him.
Thou hadst a Clarence too, and Richard killed him. From forth the kennel of thy womb hath crept a hellhound that doth hunt us all to death. O upright, just, and true disposing God, how do I thank thee that this carnal cur preys on the issue of his mother's body to make her pew fellow with others' moan.
O Harry's wife, triumph not in my woes. God witnesses with me, I have wept for thine.
Bear with me, I am hungry for revenge. Richard yet lives, hell's black intelligencer. Earth gapes, hell burns, fiends roar, saints pray to have him suddenly conveyed from hence. Cancel his bond of life, dear God, I pray, that I may live to say the dog is dead.
Oh, thou didst prophesy the time would come where I would wish for thee to help me curse that bottle spider, that foul bunchback toad.
Forbear to sleep the nights and fast the days. Compare dead happiness with living woe. Think that thy babes were fairer than they were, and he that slew them fouler than he is. Bettering thy loss makes the bad causer worse. Revolving this will teach thee how to curse. Farewell, York's wife. and queen of sad mischance. These English woes will make me smile in France.
Oh, my words are dull. Quicken me with thine.
Thy woes will make them sharp and pierce like mine.
Why should calamity be full of words?
Oh, poor breathing orders of miseries. Help not all, yet do they ease the heart.
And if so, then be not tongue-tied, and go with me, in the breath of bitter words. Let smother my damned son, which thy too sweet son smothered. I am strong. He copies and exclaims.
Who intercepts my expedition?
Oh, she that might have intercepted thee by strangling thee in her cursed womb, from all the slaughters wretched that thou hast done.
Hidest thou that forehead with the golden crown, where should be graven, if that right were right, the slaughter of the prince that owed that crown, and the dire death of my 2 sons and brothers. Tell me, thou villain slave, where are my children?
Thou toad, where is thy brother Clarence? Where is kind Hastings?
If I be so disgracious in your sight, let me march on and not offend your grace. Strike the drum.
Hear me a word, for I shall never speak to thee again.
So?
Bloody thou art, bloody will be thy end. Shame serves thy life, and doth thy death tend.
Though far more cause, yet much less spirit, to curse abides in me, I say amen to all.
Stay, madam. I must speak a word with you.
I have no more sons of the royal blood for thee to murder.
You have a daughter called Elizabeth, virtuous and fair, royal and gracious.
And must she die for this? Oh, let her live, and I'll corrupt her manners, stain her beauty, that she may live unscarred of bleeding slaughter. I will confess she was not Edward's daughter.
Richmond is on the seas, stirred up by Dorset and Buckingham. My son, George Stanley, is franked up and hold. If I revolt, off goes young George's head. The Queen half-heartedly consented. Richmond shall espouse Elizabeth, her daughter. Richmond is making for England, there to claim the crown.
How now? What news with you?
My gracious sovereign, now in Devonshire, many Confederates are in arms.
My liege in Kent, the Guildfords, are in arms.
Sir Thomas Lovell and Lord Marcus Dorset, said my liege, in Yorkshire, are in arms. My liege, the Duke of Buckingham is taken. That is the best news. That the Earl of Richmond is with the mighty power landed at Milford. Is colder tidings if they must be told.
Out on you, owls! Nothing but songs of death! Away towards Salisbury. While we reason here, a royal battle might be won and lost. Someone take word Buckingham be brought to Salisbury. The rest, march on with me.
Fellows in arms, and my most loving friends, bruised underneath the yoke of tyranny, in God's name, march!
Up with my tent there. Here will I lie tonight. For lords, tomorrow is a busy day.
Good night, kind lords and gentlemen. I'll strive with troubled thoughts to take a nap. O thou, whose captain I account myself, Look on my forces with a gracious eye. Put in their hands thy bruising irons of wrath, that they may crush down with a heavy fall the usurping helmets of thy adversaries. Make us thy ministers of chastisement, that we may praise thee in victory. To thee I do commend my watchful soul, ere I let fall the windows of mine eyes. Waking and sleeping, oh, defend me still.
Ah! Give me another horse! Bind up my wounds! Have mercy, Jesu! Soft. I did but dream. Coward conscience, how dost thou afflict me? Cold, fearful drops stand on my trembling flesh. What do I fear? Myself! There's none else by. Richard loves Richard. That is, I am I. Oh, my conscience hath 1,000 several tongues. And every tongue brings in a several text. And every tale condemns me for a villain. Perjury. Perjury in the highest degree. Murder. Stem murder in the direst degree. All several sins, all used at each degree. Thrown to the bar, crying all guilty. 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 Guilty.
More than I have said, loving countrymen, the leisure and enforcement of the time forbids to dwell on, yet remember this: God and our good cause fight upon our side. Richard, except those whom we fight against, would rather have us win than him they follow. For what is he they follow? Truly, gentlemen, a bloody tyrant and a homicide, one that hath ever been God's enemy. And if you fight against God's enemy, God will in justice ward you as his soldiers. If you do sweat to put a tyrant down, you sleep in peace, the tyrant being slain. If you do fight against your country's foes, your country's fat shall pay your pains the higher. If you do fight in safeguard of your wives shall welcome home the conquerors. If you do free your children from the sword, your children's children quit it in your age. Then, in the name of God and all these rights, advance your standards, draw your willing swords, sound trumpets boldly and cheerfully. God in St. George, Richmond, and victory!
God in St. George, Richmond, and victory!
God!
guiltily away, and in a bloody battle end thy days. Think on Lord Hastings, despair, and die!
Dream on thy cousins, smothered in the tower, and weigh thee down to ruin, shame, and death. Thy nephew's souls bid thee despair and die.
Richard, thy wife, that wretched Anne, thy wife, that never slept a quiet hour with thee, now fills thy sleep with perturbation. And fall thy headless sword, despair, and die!
The last was I that helped thee to the crown. The last was I that built your tyranny. Oh, think on Buckingham! Despair and die! Dream on of the bloody deeds and death. Fainting, despair, yield thy breath. Despair and die! A horse, my kingdom, for a horse.
God and your arms be praised. Victorious friends, the day is ours. The bloody dog is dead!
Courageous Richmond, well shalt thou acquit thee. Lo here, this long usurped royalty. Wear it, enjoy it, and make much of it.
Great God of heaven, say amen to all. England hath long been mad and scarred herself. The brother blindly shed the brother's blood. The father rashly slaughtered his own son. The son compelled been butchered to the sire. All this divided York and Lancaster. Oh, now let Richmond and Elizabeth, the true succeeders to each royal house, by God's fair ordinance conjoin together. Smile, heaven, on this fair conjunction. We will unite the white rose and the red, and let their heirs, God, if thy will be so, enrich the time to come with smooth-faced peace, with smiling plenty and fair prosperous days, that you may long live here. God say, amen!
Amen!
I don't know how he did this. Did he right foot forward? Yeah, okay. Right foot forward. Not you!
Not you!
Not you!
Not you!
But me!
But me!
Okay, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the presentations of the showings. A couple of things that we're going to do. We're going to be relocating for the feedback session. We're going to take a brief break to use the restroom. We're going to relocate back into the black box. But before we do that,